Earth is my home. I promise to keep it healthy and beautiful. I will love the land, the air, the water, and all living creatures. I will be a defender of my planet, united with friends.
My name is Commissioner Frank Avila, and I'm a commissioner at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. And today, the name of our show is Dollars and Cents. And I have as my guests our executive staff from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, known to many as the District, the Wastewater Treatment and Stormwater Management Authority in Cook County. I have Director of Engineering, Catherine O'Connor. Hi, Catherine.
Morning.
Morning. And I have Director of Maintenance and Operation, Manju Sharma. Are here with us to discuss the district budget and how they are saving taxpayers' dollars. The district mission is to protect the health and safety of the public, protect the quality of the water supply, Lake Michigan, improve water quality, protect business, income, and home from flood damage, and manage water within our service area. The district was granted Stormwater Authority in 2004 by the Illinois legislators. The mission of our county-wide stormwater management program is to provide Cook County with rules, regulation, and projects that will reduce the potential for stormwater damage to life, public health, safety, property, and the environment. We strive to protect new and existing development from flooding while preventing the loss of water quality and habitat. The agency has been in business of protecting the environment since 1889. They serve an area of nearly 885 square miles for an equivalent population of over 10 million people in the Chicagoland area and 125 suburban communities. We treat an average of 1.4 billion gallons of wastewater every day. And I'm glad that we have two experts here. You know, at the district, at the Water Reclamation District, we are the expert in treating human waste. And we have two of the top experts throughout the United States, and I think throughout the world, because we have people from all over the world coming to visit our plant. As I mentioned, Catherine O'Connor is the Director of Engineering. She has her PhD, and she's been practicing engineering for how long, Catherine?
20 plus years.
20 plus years. And we have Manju, as I mentioned, the Director of Maintenance and Operation, and she has her Master's of Science in Civil Engineering.
Yes.
And how long have you been practicing engineering?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. We have 50 years of experience right here. And as I mentioned, at the district, at the Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, we are the expert in treating wastewater, and the people here in the Chicagoland area in Cook County are living in God's country. Manju, explain what is maintenance and operation, and how many employees do you are under your department?
Well, maintenance and operations is, as the term indicates, maintenance and operations of conveyance system and treatment system. The conveyance system is 554 miles of intercepting sewers, 109 miles of tunnels, 22 pumping stations that bring the wastewater to one of our 7 treatment plants. And stormwater management is done by 34 reservoirs that are already in place and many more that will be in design in future. We do this with a workforce of 954 people.
And when you talk about conveyance, you mentioned that conveyance is that when a person needs to go to the washroom in their home,
yes,
or wash
absolutely.
their dishes, or wash their clothes, when they flush the toilet, or when they turn on the water in their home, or wash, it goes down a pipe in their house.
Mm-hmm.
It goes out into a local sewer,
yes,
which the municipality owns, and from that local sewer, it goes into our interceptor sewers, which are big pipes in the ground.
Exactly.
And then from there it goes into our plant.
Exactly.
And
We
this is
own 554 miles,
500.
but there are over 10,000 miles of local sewer systems that
lo-
feed into our intercepting sewer system.
Yes, and that's all underground. While we're traveling above the ground, going to work, what they do before they go to work, if they go to the washroom, is traveling also with them to our interceptor source, to our plant, to be treated.
Right.
Yes, and so now, Manju, the budget for M&O, what is the budget? What is your budget?
Our budget is approximately $185 million a year.
$185 million.
Plus or minus, it goes up and down every year. The budget is divided into, and I've brought a chart with me,
pie
which you'll
chart?
see, a pie chart that you can look at.
Okay.
Basically, if you look at the pie chart, the largest item on that budget is personnel.
Personnel.
Which is obvious because we provide a service, so we have to have people who will be providing that service.
Yes.
Then the second largest item on that is electricity. The biggest usage of our electricity is pumping of the sewage to our treatment plants and blowers. Blowers are basically feeding air into the sewage during the treatment process. The next item, if you look at the pie chart, is chemicals. Chemicals are used in maintenance and basically in operations and treatment of the wastewater. Another item that you can see on the pie chart is the maintenance and repairs.
I see.
And most of our maintenance is actually done with in-house staff, but there are items that we're not able to do in-house, and those are done by contractors. And that's that small part of the maintenance item. And finally, we have, well, not finally, but second to last, we have biosolids management. And these contracts are in place to beneficially reuse our biosolids. They will be sent to farm fields as soil amendment. Also, in addition to that, recently we've increased the amount that we're sending to area golf courses, park districts. We've added an element to our biosolids contracts whereby we can actually provide a service to a park district where we can spread it for them, because many smaller park districts and golf courses don't have the equipment to do the spreading of the biosolids.
Yes.
So we're providing that service, and as a result, we have far more park districts that are willing and able to participate in our biosolids program. And a small amount of it is the natural gas. As you see on the pie chart, it's less than 1% of our budget. Now, as you know, in the recent years, the whole country really is in a financial crisis, and most municipalities are also.
Yes.
So we've been taking a look at our budget and addressing the large items to see how we can trim our budget. For example, electricity. Recently, we went into a very creative mode of procuring electricity, which has resulted in savings of $8 to $10 million a year for us. It's called the reverse auction that I'm sure you've heard
Yes.
about. We also participate in what's called a curtailment program, where if the area is experiencing high electricity usage, the large users are asked to curtail their usage and then get a refund back. So last year we were actually able to get a refund of $1.6 million as a result of that effort. In personnel, which is, as I said, almost half of our budget, we've been looking at creative ways of trimming that budget. Some of the things that we're doing are we're insourcing work, which means in the past a lot of our trades were spending more time in repairing, which takes a lot more time. We've decided to switch that around a little bit, so we do the routine maintenance in-house and outsource the repairs. In addition to that, with the construction fund money, which is we've allocated a certain bucket that will be reserved for replacement and refurbishment of equipment. So if you do more replacement and refurbishment on a regular basis, you'll have less need for repair, and we're hoping to reduce that budget in that way as well. We've also looked at how we do business. So we're looking at, and actually we've already implemented centralization of certain tasks that are far more efficient if we do it district-wide versus area-wide, and that's resulting in some efficiencies. So that's another avenue for reducing the budget. But between these two items, which is where our largest chunk of our budget is, we've been able to trim considerably. We're also looking at our operations. For example, our biosolids operations, we recently realized that we could change the operation somewhat and use one of our equipment centrifuges a little bit less.
Yes.
And start relying on gravity and Mother Nature, the sun, a little bit more. That has resulted in savings in electricity and chemical usage.
Let's go back to biosolids. A lot of the public may not understand the word biosolids. Okay, what is the definition of biosolids? You know, every day, at the end of the day, the district, the Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, will have approximately treated wastewater. And treated wastewater is poop and urine and other industrial waste coming into our system. And so because we're so intelligent and high class, we call it biosolids now, right? So it's called biosolid after we treat what comes into our system. And that is biosolid.
Right.
What is your definition of biosolid?
My definition is it's treated solid waste.
Treated
so
solid
it's a
waste.
byproduct of
Yes.
wastewater treatment.
Yes.
We treat the water, we separate the solids, separate the water,
Yes.
we treat both.
Yes.
And biosolids are also treated. They're treated in digesters, then they're aged
Yes.
to further reduce the pathogens. We generate approximately 500 dry tons per day
Per day, yes.
of biosolids.
And that is biosolid, and that is our finished product.
Yes, that's
See,
one of the two finished products,
Yeah, two-
clean water and
Because
biosolids.
what we do at the district is that our name, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, is a fooler. Because when a lot of people, when they say water reclamation, they think of drinking water. You know, water, you always assume water, but we're on the bottom end, we're on the waste side.
Right.
What a person, when he goes to the washroom, as I mentioned, washes his clothes, it comes into our system, it has to be treated. And we have 7 plants, 3 are the largest in North America, and 1 is the largest in the world. And that's why we have 2 experts here, and that's why we're very fortunate to have Catherine and Manju as running Director of Engineering and running Maintenance Operation. And as Manju mentioned, her budget is $185 million, right, Manju?
Yes. Yes.
Almost half of that goes towards personnel.
Personnel, yes.
And so Manju knows that the economy is tight right now. So she's working very hard to see how to be more productive with our personnel, so our dollars could go, so your tax dollars could go more than if you give us $1, we want to make sure that in return you get, what, 2 or 3 back. And this is our goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also, Manju, you mentioned electricity. What we're doing in electricity, because biosolids, the name biosolid, during the process has methane gas,
Yes.
right? And we convert that to energy, right?
We generate heat from biosolids, from methane gas, from biosolids process, and we use it back in the biosolids process in digestion.
Yeah, and also under Manju's department and also Catherine O'Connor's department, we in Curie they're doing it's a research, or is it not a research
Actually,
anymore?
it's already installed, right?
Yeah. And the first time that we're doing it is they call it sewer thermal. We named it sewer thermal. But what the original name was, what, geothermal?
It's I think I should let
Catherine,
Catherine talk about
explain
that
it.
even more.
And this is how we're saving dollars and find out.
Right.
Yes, we are saving significant dollars. We're using heat pumps, which are established technology, but what's novel is we're recovering heat from our treated effluent. So Dan Wendt, who's in our public affairs department, he coined the phrase, which is quite innovative, sewer thermal heating
And when Catherine
cooling.
talks about effluent, she's talking about the liquid side. You know, when all the waste comes in, you know, when we eliminate our waste, it's solid and liquid. Well, when we treat it, it comes out solid and liquid. Well, the effluent is the liquid side of it.
Yes, from our treated, it's
Yeah.
relatively constant temperature.
Yeah.
So it is similar to geothermal heating, where they drill down to where the temperature of the water is stable,
Yes.
down far enough in the water table. And that's really what we have at a wastewater treatment plant. And this is almost a baby step. We are doing significant building heating and cooling with these geothermal heat pumps. We're applying them as sewer thermal heat pumps. But that's just a baby step in our 10, 15-year plan to become complete resource recovery
Right, resource.
operations.
And very few water reclamation district plants are doing what we're doing.
Yes.
And so this is where we're saving money. And that's at our plant in Curie, which is in Des Plaines.
Yes.
There. And if anyone wants to tour our facilities, please call and we'll give you a tour of any of our facilities. because we encourage the schools, seniors, anyone above the grade of seventh grade to come in. They could come and visit our plant. So this is what we're doing, Manju,
Right.
under your operation.
Yes.
Trying to save dollars, because we know dollars are everyone's having a hard
It's
time
tight.
out there, and we
Absolutely.
just don't want to tax our residents here in Cook County, and that's why people from all over the world come and see how we treat wastewater.
Yes.
Thank you, Manju. So we know what biosolid is, right?
Yes.
Biosolid is what you give us when you flush the toilet, or when you wash your clothes, or you wash your dishes. That's or industrial waste. That's biosolid. I mean, that's wastewater.
Right.
That's
right.
wastewater, and then at the end of the treatment, we call it biosolid or effluent. See how intelligent we are? We got some nice words there.
We make it complicated.
So now, Dr. O'Connor, okay, you were recently appointed as Director of Engineering. How is it going?
It's going very well, thank you. Yes, on June 7th, I was thrilled to be appointed to be affirmed by
Yeah.
the Board of Commissioners, of which you are one,
Yeah.
as the Director of Engineering. And since I've been back in the engineering department, I had served as a staff engineer a number of years before. We've issued a request for proposal for phosphorus recovery, and I'm not taking credit for that. That is something that had been in the works.
Well, explain phosphorus. Why is that so important to recover the phosphorus?
Well, as I mentioned during our discussion about the sewer thermal heat, we are transitioning our industry, Manju, the leadership, our commissioners, from a treat and discharge frame of reference or frame of mind to a resource recovery. We take in a very nutrient-rich product, which is human sewage and industrial waste. It's got a thermal load that is energy rich. It's got a carbon load, which is energy rich. And it's got nutrients, the nitrogen and phosphorus that come in the waste stream.
Yeah.
We want to recover the phosphorus and return that to the economy. Phosphorus is something that's limited in resource.
Yes.
It's currently mined
Yes.
in the United States, but the United States has roughly 25 years worth of mineable phosphorus left.
And that's important for the public to know that.
Yes.
That here in the United States, that phosphorus is not going to be here for a long time.
Right.
I mean, may not be here after 25 years.
No, it will be much more expensive to
Yeah,
find.
yes.
Right? At current rates of consumption, we have 25 years left. And the other parts of the world that are phosphorus rich are a little tenuous politically.
Sure.
So-
right, and then that's why we're here in Cook County, the Water Reclamation District, do not want to face what the gas companies are facing, or in your car you need gas, you need
Yes.
gas, and we don't want to be facing what's going on throughout the world in relationship to that industry,
Exactly.
and that's why we're proactive.
Right. Ahead of the regulations, we want to recover phosphorus, as much as phosphorus as possible, and have a saleable product
Yes, yes.
that we return to the economy. That's something we expect to have in operation within 2 years.
In 2
So
years?
it's an extremely exciting time to be in sewage.
Yes.
But it really is. Another initiative that I'm working with Manju on is we've issued a request for interest, ROI we call it,
Okay.
for energy management.
Yes.
Manju mentioned that in our biosolid stabilization process, we generate methane. And this is technology we've had in place for 80 years. With this technology, we generate about 40% of our energy needs, beneficially using the methane that comes off our anaerobic digesters. We want to use that more efficiently, and that's our request for interest. We're looking at, should we clean this gas? Right now we burn it and run our boilers, which is productive use.
Yeah.
Should we clean that gas and put it into the pipeline and have somebody else generate electricity from the natural gas? Should we run engine generators and generate electricity? We're running through all of those options, and our goal is to be energy neutral.
And what Catherine is saying, that, and this is what I believe, is that, the saying is that water is the next oil. They say water.
Yes.
But my saying is that wastewater is the next oil. Wastewater. Because the reason why wastewater is the next oil, it has water. Wastewater has water. It has energy, as Catherine was saying, and it has fertilizer, nutrients.
Yes.
And these three things is what we, a civilization, needs to survive.
Yes.
And why do we need nutrient? You know, we could use nutrient as fertilizer for our crops.
Yes.
There.
And that is our goal. We do beneficially use all of the biosolids that our plants produce.
Yes.
It's beneficially used as turf amendment, and it's applied to farm fields
Yes.
in the collar counties.
Yeah, because to stay healthy, what do we need? We need food and water.
Yes.
And air, you know, along with air. And so what we have in wastewater, remember this now, wastewater is the oil.
Well, I just thought of something.
Yes.
When you say wastewater is the next oil,
Yeah.
I think, well, they call oil Texas tea.
Yeah.
When we perfect our resource recovery operation, we'll call it Chicago tea.
In Chicago.
Wastewater.
Yeah, wastewater. and as I mentioned that we're very fortunate to be living here in the Chicagoland area, because what do we have here in Chicago? We got the Great Lakes water. We
Yes.
got our water supply. And in the future, what's going on in the world and in the United States, that water is going to be a precious commodity, and people might be coming to live here in the Chicagoland area because they want to survive and they want to live. So we have water, and also we have to eat and drink, and we have the best wastewater plants here in the Chicagoland area, and we have the top experts. We are the expert. Catherine and Manju are the expert, and their people under them are expert also.
Absolutely.
Because we cannot do this by ourselves. We need a dedicated staff in both departments, in the engineering department, maintenance and operation. These people, the engineers, were the first environmentalists.
Yes.
Because the engineers have saved more lives than any other profession. And how do we save more lives? Well, we water treatment, wastewater treatment, designing roads, designing bridges to be safe for the people to travel. So what we design save more lives than any other profession. What do you think about that, Manju?
I agree. I mean, I think that we're kind of the unsung, under-the-ground heroes, if you will.
Yeah.
Of course, I have an army of 954 with me,
Yeah.
which without their hard work and dedication, you couldn't do anything. I mean, one of the reasons that we've been able to shift direction and get into a high gear about saving money is because these people are so highly qualified and dedicated to the mission.
Yes.
So.
And Catherine, how many employees do you have, Catherine?
200.
Okay. Explain what the engineering department does, and what is the role of the engineering department?
The role of the engineering department is to design and construct infrastructure for wastewater treatment, stormwater management.
I see, and we call that under your department, that's capital improvement program.
Yes.
Okay, and so how much money is allocated for that?
The capital improvement program, we spend in planning, design, and construction roughly $300 million a year.
$300 million.
Yes. And for every dollar we spend in construction, Manju mentioned that maintenance spends a pot of money to maintain the
Yes.
plants. Those are construction projects, many of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the capital improvement program, those are also construction projects. And for every dollar we spend, and these are taxpayer dollars, we generate $3.50 in economic benefit to Chicagoland.
Yes.
So we believe that we are investing in public health. We're maintaining this lovely system that you described that transports and allows for sanitation, very clean living here in a densely populated metropolitan area, and we're generating wealth. We're maintaining a world-class infrastructure. People come from all over the world to see
Oh, yes.
our conveyance system, our treatment plants. They are a value. There's $6.6 billion worth of infrastructure value. And the engineering department spends $150 million a year to upgrade.
Upgrade, yes. Which is very important.
Essential.
Yes, because our main mission, as I mentioned before, is to protect the health and welfare of the people. And the way we do it is by treating wastewater under Manju's department and by designing and upgrading our facilities under your department.
Yes.
And both departments takes up over $500 million, takes up a little over 50% of the budget.
Yes.
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 But we believe it's money very well spent.
Yes.
Right.
Now, tell me about the stormwater management program.
The Stormwater Management Program, the mission of the Stormwater Management Fund is to protect the safety of Cook County residents and minimizing flood damage by coordinating, planning, implementing, financing, and operating regional stormwater projects. So in the 2013 budget, we anticipate 11 stream bank stabilization programs. Those stream bank stabilization projects are exactly what they sound, but they improve conveyance of stormwater to mitigate flooding, but they also improve water quality.
And when Catherine says conveyance, it means the travel of the water, traveling, that's conveyance,
Yes.
transporting the water or the wastewater.
Thank you very much. Yes, when we get the deluge of rain
Yes.
for flood control, we need to convey the stormwater somewhere, but we also want to do it in a manner that protects the local aquatic
Yes.
environment, protects water quality, maintains safe streets and passage.
Yes.
So we have 11 stream bank stabilization projects that are planning and ready to go. So the stormwater management program spends on the order of $60 million a year.
Yes, and as you mentioned, we have a crew going out and cleaning up the streams
Yes.
throughout Cook County.
Yes.
Why do they do that, Catherine?
Well, they work out of maintenance and operations.
The Small Streams Maintenance Program, it's called. Basically, they do exactly what Catherine was talking about before. They keep the conveyance going so the water can keep flowing instead of flooding people's backyards or areas that are abutting the streams.
What they do is that they clean any debris, if there's something stopping the flow of the water in the stream, they'll go out there and remove all the
impediments from the waterways.
So the water could go flowing.
And everybody is welcome to go to our website and log in. If you see a stream that is blocked, feel free to log into the website and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to come out and clean that.
So, Catherine, we have the stormwater management program.
Yes.
Which is very important. It goes. We're in charge of the stormwater management throughout Cook County, except City of Chicago.
The City of Chicago.
They have their own.
Yes.
And so we are dealing with 125 communities.
Yes.
How much money is allocated for the capital improvement program?
The capital improvement program, we spend on the order of $300 million a year.
$300 million?
Yes.
And that's through, we don't have the $300 million, so we don't have the $300 million. We have to sell bonds.
Yes.
Majority.
Right. The capital improvement program is for new facilities to preserve the useful life of facilities, but it's much bigger than maintenance.
Yes.
It's got to be something that is an actual asset.
Right.
So it's similar, it's analogous to if you own a home, if you replace the floor, that's routine maintenance, and that's something that maintenance and operations takes care of. And for capital projects, something that you're willing to go to pay bonds for, like a mortgage, that's something that we believe that we have an asset. We're improving the value of our assets.
And then that includes the the tunnel?
Yes, the deep tunnel program. That is $4 billion.
I will love